Previously on, did I get what I paid for?
Um, who are you?
Xylogathia, sixth-dimensional winter elf in training. Santa. He said if I can make sure something doesn't happen, he'll greenlight my screenplay for a Hallmark movie. I call it Married Chipmunks. It's about...
Let me guess. A young anthropologist returns home with her sign language chimp when her mother has a heart attack. She's only supposed to stay a week, but she falls in love with a zookeeper who happens to be a single dad.
Maybe.
Now, about your mission.
I'm supposed to make sure that you don't make any Star Trek jokes in the next 3 episodes.
Too late.
Well, the order said Jess couldn't make them, so I think we're good.
Look. I see what's in it for you, but what about me? What do I get?
For each episode you can accomplish this, you get 1 wish. But if you fail, even once, I will make you watch the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
Okay, Donatello. Update on the time travel problem. It's proving a tough nut to crack. I've managed to get a primitive machine capable of 3-minute jumps in either direction, but I get the feeling that's not what you need.
I mean, if I came across my buddy making out with someone that I personally couldn't figure out why they thought they were attractive, I'd say nothing and not draw attention to it in any way.
Jess, we have an incoming transmission.
My name is Shmi Marovalent of the Hoskin Empire. Give me the Omega-3.
Transmission strength increasing by 3,000%. Holy poop on a stick! Jess is dead! How are we going to keep the show going now?
Get Donatello on the line. Yeah? Is that 3-minute rewind still working? Yeah? Punch it! You'll thank me later.
Transmission strength increasing by 3,000%.
Not another sketch trying to reference the movie. That is so 2021.
You make Star Trek jokes in all 3 episodes.
No, I didn't.
But...
But it's like you said. I couldn't make any Star Trek references. If someone else did it, no harm, no foul. I just use simple knowledge of how you and Nick think.
Then yeah, you're right. 3 wishes.
What did your boy do, soldier?
And now the new part, and now the new part, and now the new part.
Why are you putting Henwen in a box?
No reason. What are we doing outside?
Remodeling stuff isn't done for the day, but since the weather was nice, I thought we could do part of the review out in the nice and peaceful garden. Especially since the movie we're doing today brings back some rather unpleasant memories.
Hold up. Unpleasant memories? Isn't our movie Dumbo the Walt Disney animated film from 1941?
Yep.
But it says here, the crew member asks for a movie that scared you as a child. How the hell did that end up giving us Dumbo?
Do you want to explain it? Or should I?
I can do it. When I was a little kid, my family watched The Wonderful World of Disney every Sunday night. One time I was really excited because it was Dumbo and I had never seen it. Anyway, football went into overtime. So instead of cutting the short cartoon Mickey and the Beanstalk, the network decided to split Dumbo in half and make it a 2-parter.
What's the matter with that?
I'll explain that when we get there. Needless to say...
You were worried about Dumbo the whole time.
Yep.
Well, now I feel like sort of, but not really a dick.
Why?
Because Ralph had me try to find Mickey and the Beanstalk on Disney Plus, but they didn't have it.
Ooh,
But it is part of the package film, fun and fancy free. And they got that.
damn it, our story begins as a harp sings a song, and everything in nature, from fleas to cows to crows, starts singing, until a giant comes and steals the harp. Then everything turns to shit. Donald Duck is so hungry he's willing to murder their cow for food. So Mickey Mouse takes it to market to get milk money and comes back with magic beans.
Magic beans.
You know what? I reviewed a Jack and the Beanstalk movie last year. If you want to see it, I'll put a link in the end card.
You can't just stop the review.
The hell I can't. Oh, Silo.
Yeah. What do you need? We're trying to find a woman in her mid 40s or early 50s to play our 30-year-old lead's mom in Mary Chipmus.
I want to use one of my wishes.
On.
Look, I'll watch Mickey and the Beanstalk, but I wish I could skip to the rant, rap, and verdict without pissing off the guild.
Ready to go.
It's Jack and the Beanstalk with Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy, and not a lot of added English like a love song to a cow, or Lou Costello seducing the giant's housekeeper, or the village celebrating a public murder. Just plain ordinary Jack and the Beanstalk, no fuss, no muss. So I'm gonna have to say,
Yes! Do you not know what species you are? Do you want to be on the Frosty Bear Show? If so, call us at 1-888-555-FAKE.
we've encountered some subspace interference. Better initiate visual override Willy 11235.
If you'd like tickets to be in our studio audience, please email us at tickets@.
By the way, Allison Hannigan.
What?
The answer to your problem is Allison Hannigan.
Thanks.
Come on, what are friends for? You can go inside and watch Dumbo. Lilo and I are going to have a nice picnic.
Jess, can we talk?
Not now, Donnie. Our story begins as the weather starts getting rough and... No, wait. That's the beginning of Gilligan's Island. The narrator tells us that the stork is coming. Nor rain, nor snow, nor dark of night. Something, beware my power, Green Lantern's light, can stop him from completing his appointed rounds. A flock of storks dive bomb this circus. The bears get 2 cubs. The kangaroos get a joey. The hippo sure seems surprised. Even the tigers get a delivery. I hope they got their order right. Last time he sent them Fred and Barney. Poor Mrs. Elephant seems so sad that she doesn't get anything. But what do you expect from an animal with a gestation period of about 20 months? If an elephant timed things just right, it could see 7 MCU movies in the time between getting knocked up and going into labor.
Since when do elephants go to the movies?
Last Thursday. Now shut up. A few days later, the circus packs up to leave town. Thomas the Tank Engine needs to work out. The added weight of all the new animals is a little bit too much for him. But he should feel lucky. At least young Indiana Jones isn't fighting thieves on top of the train cars. This stork is still out there. He looks lost and tired. He has no idea where to go. Every time he stops to check his map, he almost drops his bag. This guy is no Mandalorian. At last he finds the circus train, but he still has no idea where he's supposed to leave the bag. He looks in every train car except for the one with two big elephants painted on the side of it. Genius! Once he finds it, he still has trouble finding the right elephant. Then he finds her. In spite of none of the other storks doing this, this guy has traveled thousands of miles and wrote a goddamn singing telegram. He's gonna sing it come hell or high water. Then he flies off, never to be heard from again. The other elephants ooh and ah. Then the baby sneezes and his ears pop out super large. It makes you wonder if Mrs. Jumbo was stepping out with a sentient hang glider. What? We just saw a talking train. The idea isn't that crazy. In all seriousness, I'm the last person to make fun of someone else's ear problems. Mine are mechanical. The lady elephants are able as pieces of shit. Either that or the Disney Universe counterpart to Prince Adam's classmates. They give Jumbo Jr. the nickname Dumbo, and 2 minutes later it's his actual name. Mrs. Jumbo slams the door on them, so she's at least trying to be a good mother. She's unwilling to risk her social status by calling them out on trivial shit, but she is good and angry. The train tires out in Wheeling, West Virginia, so they decide to stop. The animals think the area looks a bit sketchy, but they get out and help set up anyway. Not that they have much choice. When I look at all the human railroad workers, something seems a bit off about them. Is it how sad and depressing their song is? No. Is it how the ringmaster only seems to value the animals' work? No, I don't think that's it. Ah, forget it. I'm sure it'll come to me. The next day, the sad, depressing music is gone, and it's a happy marching band. Wait a minute, when they boarded the train, there was one animal tamer and one ringmaster. So where did the marching band and the clowns come from? I guess they're there to distract us from the fact that we're 15 minutes into the movie and we've had 2 minutes of plot and 13 minutes of music. I've said this before and I'll probably say it again. Having lots of music isn't necessarily a bad thing, as long as the music is good and plot relevant. The music in Dumbo, well, what it lacks in the usual Disney quality, it makes up for in quantity of unlistenable garbage. The parade goes fine until the crowd sees how clumsy Dumbo is. They make fun of him as he trips in some mud. Before the show, we get an instrumental as he takes a bath. Then he plays with his mom. But then some of the kids who survive Pleasure Island and Pinocchio show up and buy tickets. You'd think, with what happened to them the year before, they'd have learned their lesson about roving tourist traps, but nope. And this kid, of all people, mocks Dumbo and pulls his ears. Mrs. Jumbo gets pissed off and rampages. The ringmaster steps in and separates her from Dumbo. He tries to restrain her before she hurts anyone and or opens up his circus to lawsuits, but he might as well be trying to corral the Incredible Hulk. She's put into Arkham Asylum for criminally insane elephants, but she should count herself lucky that Thomas Edison isn't in town. Dumbo cries. The other elephants mock Mrs. Jumbo under the guise of civil discourse. Timothy Mouse is scavenging for peanuts. He's the only one who gives a damn about Dumbo. The other elephants don't blame Mrs. Jumbo, who was only doing what a mother is supposed to do. They don't blame the kid who assaulted Dumbo in the first place. No, they found something so much better they can do. The good old American pastime. Victim blaming. Timothy decides to teach them a lesson by scaring the shit out of them. He gives them the old, "You like picking on little guys? Well, here I am." "Yeah, that's what I thought," routine. Then he goes off to look for Dumbo. He finds him hiding in some straw. Timothy realizes that by scaring the lady elephants, he's terrified the poor kid. So he resorts to using the only tool he has, peanuts. But it doesn't quite work. Dumbo vacuums them up. Timothy says, "It's too bad we aren't friends. I could help you go see your mom." Dumbo comes out of hiding and they shake on it. Timothy explains that Dumbo's mom isn't bad, and the ear thing isn't his fault. Dumbo gets mad, but unlike any other character in the movie, Timothy apologizes. He says what makes you unusual isn't bad, you just have to find a way to harness it. We're going to have to find you an act to help you do that. They overhear the ringmaster talking about this insane plan to use all 17 elephants to form a pyramid. But he has no idea what the climax should be. No matter what it was, it would be the second most insane thing I've ever seen involving elephants.
What's the first?
I own a copy of Power Pachyderms.
Well, that's the second craziest thing.
Oh, really? What's the first?
The Republican Party.
The ringmaster goes to sleep to dream on it. Timothy says, "I know the answer and it's you, Dumbo, but kid, I've got to find some way to make stupid humans see that." "I bet I know what you guys are thinking. The solution involves LSD, VR helmets, and Leonardo DiCaprio." Very close, but no. Timothy crawls into the ringmaster's tent, climbs up next to his ear, and whispers, "Dumbo is what you need for your climax."
Phrasing, Jess. Phrasing.
You can't pin that one on me, it's in the actual movie. The next day, he literally tries this out in front of the crowd. No rehearsals, just full on, whose line is it anyway, with asking elephants. Now, the result is more disastrous than Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Dumbo's clumsiness doesn't help things, but they treat him like Bono and give him 100% of the blame. On a side note, how come once a season I seem to review something where a circus gets destroyed? In season 0, it happened in The Ape. Last season, it was in that Superman cartoon. And now, Dumbo.
This means there's a 100% chance that next season you're going to do Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
You never know. The destruction is you're kicked out of the state level bad. They're all loaded up onto the train, and all the elephants apart from Dumbo are in traction. The leader of the lady elephants swears vengeance. Her number 2 says, "No need to worry about that. The ringmaster and I have taken care of it." The leader says, "How? Did you kill him?" The other elephant says, "We've done far worse than kill him, Admiral. We've hurt him." The leader says, "So, you made him a clown, didn't you?" "Good. It's all agreed then. No more treating him like an elephant." I never liked that kid anyway. So while the other elephants are doing a trick with a ball, Dumbo spends his nights being rescued by the clown fire brigade. The poor guy is terrified, but look on the bright side. They still make better firefighters than I would. After the show, Dumbo is miserable. Timothy tries to cheer him up with a bath. What is it with this movie and baths? I have seen porn with less emphasis on bathing than this movie. Not that I've ever watched porn. They visit the solitary confinement cage to visit Dumbo's mom. Mother and son have a brief but happy reunion, even if all they can do is rub trunks and cause a sad song to play. Hey, they've gotta pad this sucker out to a full-length feature somehow. Cut to the clowns carousing and discussing how to improve their already crowd-pleasing act. Most of their ideas consist of putting Dumbo in bigger and bigger danger. But hey, it's not like Disney has ever been accused of doing anything like that to any of their other child stars. They take their plan to the ringmaster. One of their demands is a raise, preferably a larger percentage of the gross. He talks them down to 100% of the net. Of course, 100% of nothing is, let me see, I was never great at math. If only I had some sort of AI assistant with a calculator built into his brain. He'd know the answer.
Sure.
And then the clowns go to, you know what? This movie. I'm all for improving workers' rights, but these guys can't even go ask for a raise in a goes nowhere, does nothing plot thread without singing a song about it. I am so tempted to hop a train to Orlando, buy a ticket to Disney World, break into the secret Illuminati vault under the castle in the Magic Kingdom and pop the cork on the cryogenic chamber of Mr. Walter Elias Disney a tad early for this sort of nonsense. But I get it. Instead of having one scene-sealing song like When You Wish Upon a Star or Can You Feel the Love Tonight, this movie opted for 378 unmemorable songs that you won't be able to tell apart from one another. It really makes you wonder why Tim Burton didn't hire Paul Simon to write the music for the remake. Dumbo and Timothy are walking back to the tent. Dumbo is so depressed that he's hiccuping. Timothy says water can help with that. Dumbo walks up to a barrel and takes a sip. But it's not water. It's where the clowns have stashed their cheap booze. Timothy tells Dumbo about his big plans for them. Dumbo is gulping down something fierce. But he's still hiccuping. Timothy decides to take a taste just to figure out why his proven home remedy isn't working. And they both enter a drunken delirium. They do all kinds of crazy shit. But instead of having Dumbo wake up in bed with a chimp and an ostrich, we get the most infamous part of the movie. The scene that made 3-year-old Jess shit his pants. The only song in the film worth mentioning. Pink Elephants on Parade. It's part fever dream and part drug trip. If you've ever wondered what a collaboration between Dr. Seuss and H.R. Geiger would be like, look no further. But to make matters worse, this is where the movie cut off the first time I saw it, which is why, if I believed in hell, there would be a special place there for Michael Eisner. Once they start to wake up, we witness a murder.
Remember a murder in Bambi in The Lion King, but not so much in Dumbo.
Of crows!
Somebody murders some crows.
No. Nobody is murdering the crows. A flock of crows is called a murder. Between them and the railroad workers, excuse me a minute. Willie Asylum.
This had better be good. Ralph just made his interdimensionally famous poached Cadbury eggs for dessert.
No, I just need the answer to a simple question. You know, friend to friend.
Okay.
Yeah, how do I put this politely? Is this movie, I don't know, racist?
See that guy with the cigar over there?
Yeah.
His name is Jim the Crow. Jim the fucking Crow.
Can I even make a joke here? I should because it's an ugly part of reviewing classic movies. You might not be able to tell by looking at me, but I'm the whitest white guy who ever white guyed. So as much as I would love to defenestrate the last 20 minutes of this movie so that it falls into a barrel of acid that I can hurl into the sun, I can't. I'm not saying no white person can criticize racist works like Dumbo. I'm saying that if a joke requires a degree of sensitivity, I'm bound to fuck it up and say something unintentionally offensive. Doing the joke that should be here, justice, is walking into a minefield. That's something no one in my family has done since 1945. Ah, I did it again! Anyway, the Crows want to know if Timothy and Dumbo are still alive. The crow who's smoking convinces them that they're just sleeping. Timothy is muttering about pink elephants, so they decide to wake them up by blowing a shit ton of secondhand smoke in their face. Timothy says, "Hey, you crows, what are you guys doing on the ground?" The crows say, I don't know if you've looked around much, but that's when they realize they're up in a tree. Timothy freaks out, but Dumbo goes on sleeping. Once he wakes up, he's sober enough to know that a tree shouldn't hold an elephant's weight, so the branch snaps. But he's drunk enough that he doesn't realize that Disney movies tend to have better physics than this, so he's saved by a more Warner Brothers logic. Well, that and the puddle beneath them.
With all the drinking they did, it wouldn't happen to be a yellow puddle, would it?
Dude, gross.
Could have been Mountain Dew.
Timothy and Dumbo head back to the circus and wonder how he got up in the tree to begin with. The crow who shall not be named quips, maybe he flew. Like half the stupid shit I say sarcastically. Timothy believes it. He says that's got to be it. The crows start laughing at him and, shit, I forgot. Pink Elephants on Parade isn't the only catchy song in this movie. There's also When I See an Elephant Fly, aka Walt Disney's salute to racism. Timothy tells the crows to stop being assholes. And he's right. The goal of comedy isn't to not offend or insult anyone. When handled properly, mockery can be a tool for fighting grave, otherwise unapproachable injustices. But when you attack someone worse off than yourself, that's what we in the comedy biz call a punch down. It's considered a cardinal sin. Back to the movie. Once the crows hear the full story, there is at least a very mild attempt to add a second dimension to these characters. Not much of one, though. Going from 19th century minstrel show clowns to magic black men is not an improvement. Okay, maybe in the same sense that Oops, All Berries is better than Crunch Berries. The crows gather round and whisper to Timothy the secret of getting Dumbo to fly. Dumbo looks confused. All they tell him is that Elephants can't fly, they don't have feathers. Duh. So they take him to the edge of a cliff and have him flap his ears up and down while he holds it. Timothy doesn't think it's doing anything, but he looks down to see that they're up in the clouds with the crows. Dumbo is flying. He takes to the air like he was born to it. Timothy and Dumbo return to the circus to do the clown's new act. Dumbo's leap has gone from 20 feet to 180. When it comes time to make the jump, he drops the feather. He and Timothy plunge to their death. Nah, Timothy says, forget the feather. The feather is bupkis. I found it in a Cracker Jack box. Dumbo takes to the air and gets revenge on the cruel clowns. The crowd cheers. Dumbo uses his vacuum nose to clean out the entire peanut cart. He spits half of them out at the lady elephant, raining bullets down like some sort of deranged and wrathful god. No one fucking cares. Dumbo is now the star. The ringmaster can see this. He'll do anything to make him happy. So Dumbo's mom is released from the elephant nut house. A few days later, the train packs up to go on to the next town. The crows sing their goodbyes. And that's it. That's the movie. Hot diggity damn am I conflicted on this one. I haven't had this much trouble rendering a verdict on something since Bela Lugosi meets a Brooklyn gorilla. There is a lot to like about this movie. It was made during the golden age of Disney, so the animation is top-notch, second to none. The message that the story is trying to convey, that the things that make us different can also be the things that make us exceptional, is very powerful, especially for a movie that is targeted at children. It's a lesson a lot of us still need to learn. On the other hand, the movie undercuts this message at every goddamn turn. And I'm not just talking about the crows. It's made worse by the fact that all the human characters of color are literally faceless, while the white characters have distinctive features and, gasp, personalities. Yeah, they might use recycled model sheets from other Disney movies, most notably Pinocchio, which came out the year before, but at least you can tell their eyes from their goddamn nose. What I'm saying is, Dumbo has issues for contemporary audiences. Disney recognizes this and puts up a notice if you watch it on Disney+. Now, I'm not saying that Dumbo is as offensive as Song of the South. If you can see past the problematic elements, then I'd say give it a watch. If you can't, and I would totally get why that would be the case, then don't.
Yeah, I'm still unsure on this one.
We'll eat a Xylo.
I'm totally into that. But there's a difference between prudent and prudish.
I want to use another of my wishes.
You're going to try to get out of doing a Flintstones episode next season, aren't you?
There isn't enough magic in the multiverse to pull that off.
I have these 3 holdover movies that the crew requested a while back, and I kind of don't want to do them right now.
What? And miss out on the Blues Brothers or the Black Hole?
I'm not saying never do them, but I just had to go through 3 episodes without making a Star Trek reference, so...
Come on, say it.
I wish I could do a 3-part Star Trek-themed season finale.
Okay, here you go. Our next episode.
Star Trek Enterprise Season 1? I reviewed this at the beginning of the season.
I keep telling you, you watched Quantum Leap, not Enterprise. And it's not really the season finale, since we do have to do something Captain America related in July. Or is that going to be more like a Doctor Who holiday special?
If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to see this channel grow and get your name on the credits. Visit patreon.com/ParryErrorFilms and become a patron today.
So, he knows what's at stake if he keeps messing with time.
Not exactly.
Then we have no other choice. We've got to act, and we have to act now.
What the hell are you saying?
I'm saying we have to take care of Jess. We'll destroy the whole damn show if we have to, before he makes things any worse.